My name is Angelique Brown. I'm a registered nurse. I work at the University of Miami in the research department.
My name is Don Rico Ricketts. Most people just call me Don Rico. Essentially, by training, I'm a graphic designer. I'm also a writer. But above all of that, my preoccupation is community activism.
Winsome Bolt. I'm an art instructor and art designer. I work with the Sunflower Society, Inc., and I'm part of the art structure and creative part of Sunflower Society.
My name is Shella Maya. I am a massage therapist. I'm studying healing work. I want to do whatever it is that I can to serve people, you know, and with all the things that are going on, and serve the earth. So I'm trying to get involved in whatever it means to do that.
My name is Denizulu Jean Tinney. I'm a visual artist after fashion. I'm a member of the Kuumba Artists Collective, and here at historic Virginia Key Beach, I have a role to play as chair of the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust, which is the body designated by the City of Miami to oversee the restoration and the management of the park.
Well, today we are at Virginia Key Beach.
And the event today is the Ma'afa. The Ma'afa is a Kiswahili word meaning a great tragedy. And it's used in reference to
the catastrophe that befell African people.
It's almost like retrieving something that was lost.
Now being revived, and what it means to me more than anything else, it's a spiritual thing.
Honoring the people who were not aware that slavery was over, and were still suffering slavery, you know, in many states of the South.
So today we are remembering all of our African ancestors who perished during that passage from Africa to the United States and to Central America and to South America.
Well, the occasion is the annual Sunrise Ancestral Remembrance of the Middle Passage. For about the last 15 years or so, we've been doing this here at Virginia Key Beach on the Sunday closest to the summer solstice. The way that works, maybe a little more than half of those Sundays end up being Father's Day, which is an appropriate time to honor and remember ancestors. And what this is a remembrance.
I feel a little connected, especially with the forces of the people around me. I've lost my mother about 8 years ago. And although I talk with her a lot, this is the moment that I always reach out. The water, the feeling, the sense of everything that happens brings me some sort of spiritual happiness, and I can take that out into the everyday world that I'm in. So I never miss it. I started, I think, 5 years ago, and I've come every Juneteenth here. So. And it's very powerful for me. It's very fulfilling. Like today I ran into one of my students, and that gives me joy and love that, you know, that she's here, that she's feeling it, that her mom's here with her. You know, so it's really powerful.
I'm basically here to honor them and remember them, because I feel that it's just so important to connect to your ancestors, you know, it just holds so much knowledge, you know, because it's in your blood. So, you know, if you remember them, then they give you strength, then they keep teaching you, you know, and they show up, you know. But if you don't use that cosmic memory, you know, then, you know, we can't learn. And actually the ancient ways need to be brought back because the earth is suffering, you know. So back to nature, you know, so and ancestry.
So it is natural for me to be and to have been a part of this annual remembrance, ancestral remembrance of this country. Because we understand that it is a similar circumstance, the same reason that Africans were brought here. My ancestors were brought into the West, including the Caribbean, and here in the United States. The same reason that caused the tragedy that befell the native people. So, which is why we celebrate both, as well as you noticed this morning, as well as the land, the ocean, the waters, the air, all the things that without which we really couldn't live.
Yeah, it's a regular thing. This is my 13th year. And I look forward to it every year because I think it's very important to remember my African ancestors, that they not be forgotten. Even those who didn't reach these shores, just the horror that they endured being captured. And then the passage here was just totally unfathomable by anyone who have not experienced it. And they just should not be ever, ever forgotten. And you're talking almost, 400 years? So you're talking maybe 100 million Africans, men, women, and children, who died during the Middle Passage.
I think each generation learns a little more than the one before, thanks to the struggles of the one before. And I think our parents, our grandparents, the generations before us, provided us the opportunities where we finally could become aware that all those people who died in the Middle Passage, all those people who survived the Middle Passage. The Middle Passage, of course, is the name given to what some people call the Atlantic slave trade, which is not a term we use because those were human beings, they weren't slaves, and you could hardly call that kind of criminal activity trade in any legitimate sense, as others have pointed out. But we're aware that all those people who died uselessly and those who survived and gave life to the generations that brought us here need to be acknowledged, need to be honored. Every one of those individual lives counted. Every one of those people mattered. And in traditional belief, we're aware that there can be unquiet spirits who, you know, when people cross over in circumstances like that. And those spirits need to be remembered and honored and given peace, if you will. So that's the sense of it. The fact that we come here to this sacred site, which used to be the colored beach during the segregation era, but it has a history, of course, much older than that, including the native history. The only recorded history of the native